What's up, everybody? I'm John Middlekauff. You know what I need you to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got content for days reacting to every NFL game all the time, every single day. Subscribe, like the videos. Let's go.
Another big storyline in college football, Bill Belichick, UNC. Like we were talking, college football leading to the NFL, like you're going to do a bunch of reactions for the games, and that Monday game on Labor Day, North Carolina, TCU. It's pretty crazy the parallels between Bill Belichick getting his debut against TCU and then Deion gets his debut against TCU. Kind of wild how those two played. I have no expectations. I mean, their schedule is a joke. It's so easy, but it's like 41 new transfers, which that's the only way you can really build a roster now. It's the players on that roster were crap. Go in and grab 40 guys. It's just like what Deion did last year or 2 years ago with Colorado. But you just got to just bring a bunch of transfers in. What's your pace on Bill Belichick and UNC? I mean, TCU, should they win that game? Are they favored in that game?
Like, you like TCU this year? I mean, a lot of people feel like
they got a good quarterback. I just think they lost the receivers last year. I don't know a whole lot about them, but they're one of those teams that's in the Big 12 that's a part of like the 9 deep teams like them, Baylor, and obviously the Big 12 teams at the top.
To me, that, like you said, it's the 40 guys. You don't have a choice when you take over a job. I think there are two big question marks. One, part of like Belichick's scheme has always been it's pretty intense intellectually. It's why he likes wait, why'd you draft this guy to play safety? Why'd you draft this guy to play wide receiver? Because he values smart guys more than sometimes like blue chip talents. And because to play for Belichick and Tom, you had to be really, really sharp. And if you think about most of their top players over 20 plus years, from like Rodney Harrison to Brewski to Vrabel to like the new crew of like Edelman, McCourty, just like sharp dudes. Well, in college, like one, they don't have the pick of the litter, right? They're not recruiting the top guys, even their transfers relative to it's not like they're stealing a guy that Ohio State wanted or Bama wanted. So his talent's not going to be as high. And then how does he teach them fast enough? Because even, Urban Meyer was on the show with Coward, and he's like, I don't even know how you could possibly build a culture overnight. When that's a big part of what Bill does is like scheme and culture. Well, it's like hard to microwave that. And he did. I don't know if you saw the quote recently. I think it was like a couple days ago where he's like, we hit and tackled way more in training camp than I ever did in the pros because we don't have preseason games because the guys we have on our staff that were college guys told me that's what you have to do. And I was thinking back like when I was at Fresno State, all these colleges, camp is a little more physical than the NFL because you could always be like, we got some preseason games, especially for our second and third stringers, where it's like you kind of you're picking your battles in NFL training camps than these college training camps. Like you're running full on scrimmages a lot. Like if you went to like Ravens camp, even their physical days, it's not like true scrimmages. Like you go to Ohio State or Bama or Texas, they have multiple like legit scrimmages during fall camp because you got to simulate the game. So how does he understand how to do that? And then there's just like, I don't know. I mean, what's these young kids and him? You could argue he's just such a good coach. He'll figure it out, but I don't know. I mean, Deion had been coaching young, high school recruits at Jackson State or whatever. And he also just had, I don't know, his son, who's the quarterback, and Travis Hunter, who's won the fucking Heisman. Does Bill have any good players? That's my thing. Because we saw the last couple of years when it ended, he didn't have any good players on the Patriots, and they sucked. Like, at the end of the day, like, Saban became a legend. Urban Meyer became a legend, right? These guys become legend because their teams are loaded. Now, the conference sucks, but, I mean, still, it's like they're no lock to beat some of the random teams in the ACC if the rosters are the same.
Yeah, we all talk about quarterbacks, too. Their starting quarterback is going to be a South Alabama transfer who's 5'11", who's kind of a dual threat. So it's not something that he's used to seeing with Tom Brady and kind of these statured 6'4", 6'5" guys who are pocket passers. Like, this guy's kind of an RPO run.
You know who his offensive coordinator is?
I don't know. I know his son is obviously the defensive coordinator. I don't know who his OC is.
It's Freddie Kitchens, who, if you remember, was the coach for a year with Baker Mayfield. If you told me the equivalent of Freddie Kitchens was his defensive coordinator, I'd be like, no, that's Belichick's baby. Flores is an excellent defensive coordinator with or without him. Patricia's not, right?
Mm.
But it's like Belichick can run it. It does whether he's got Romeo Crennel, he can figure that out. The offensive coordinator matters. Bill was sweet with Josh McDaniels. When he didn't have Josh McDaniels, they sucked. So it's like Freddie Kitchens. I don't know. And the guy was a joke in the NFL. The rivalries, the marching bands, the upsets. Saturdays just got way more fun. College football is back, baby. Think you know the game? Put your college football knowledge to the test with DraftKings Sportsbook and turn your picks into big payouts. Live betting during the game, rivalry week odds boosts, and so much more. DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. Here's the thing. There is no bigger game than Saturday morning. Texas, Ohio State. I understand Arch has never started a big game. Played a couple last year, but never anything like this. Ohio State lost a ton of guys to the draft. I think this Texas team, if Arch lives up to the hype, poised to win an Natty, I'm taking Texas. I know it's at the shoe. I know it's a tough environment. I just think, as Earl Woods used to tell Tiger Woods, let the legend grow. That's what I would tell Arch Manning. Go win this game. Cover that spread, money line, let the legend grow. And here's something special for first timers, new customers. Bet just $5 and get 300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code John. That's code John for new customers to get 300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
I do wonder, though, how Belichick's relationship with players is, because he did take, I mean, we always kind of forget, he did take a year off and was in the media, and Pat McAfee, the Manning brothers, he did show some kind of personality, but you wonder how in today's college football, with a lot of people like my age that are sensitive and kind of like this Gen Z
Pussies.
New age people, like how do they, does Bill kind of like go in between of a hardcore NFL coach and what he was with McAfee to kind of just relate to these players? Like, after the game, if they beat TCU, are they dumping the Gatorade on him? Are they hugging him? Like, are they kind of backing a? I don't know. Just the relationship with that. And then on top of that, you had his girlfriend in the mix. Like, we haven't heard anything all fall camp, thank God. Who knows if we will the entire season. But it's just one of those operations where I'm very excited to watch it week to week. Just a lot of unknown players that you can't really say on, because it's a guy from South Alabama is your starting quarterback. I don't know how he's going to be in the ACC.
Yeah, to me, a little runaround guy does just not feel like Bill Belichick, right? No. If you think about it, even when he tried to replace Tom, it was with Jimmy Garoppolo and then Mac Jones. But that's the best they could do. Like, I bet they looked around, like, what were their options? So, yeah, you could convince me he wins 8-9 games because of the schedule. You could also convince me his players aren't any good and it's just kind of a disaster and it's like 5-6 wins, right? It would look a lot different than Dion. Because at the end of the day, even when they were sucking that first year, they still were like Shador and Travis Hunter. Like, is Bill going to have – they got first-round talent on their team? I don't know.
No idea.
Doubt it.